Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Nicola Bianzino, Global Chief Technology Officer at EY, to discuss the future of ChatGPT, opportunities, risks, and the broader impact to the economy. Nicola, it's great to see you. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Jill.
You got it. ChatGPT has been at the center of technology news as we kick off 2023. How are you thinking about the future of this technology and what impact could it potentially have on the broader economy?
Yeah, I think it's a technology that is going to impact, I think, a lot of the different businesses that we have across sectors. So if you look at some of the knowledge companies, like, for example, our company, my company, EY, I think the ChatGPT really will systematize our knowledge within the enterprise and allow us to access that information in a much easier way. But I guess the use cases are a very large number. So I think we're just at the beginning of a very interesting trend.
What do you see as the major opportunities and risks when it comes to ChatGPT in the near term?
I think the biggest risk probably is the disintermediation of some of the sources, right? So today, when you do a search using, a traditional search engine, you have a very large number of entries that come back to you. So you have the ability of searching and looking through those and understanding the one that actually fit what you're trying to achieve. When you use a technology like a generative AI, like ChatGPT, is the technology itself that does the summarization for you. And so that adds another layer, of course, of intermediation between you and the raw information. I'm sure there will be, instructions and frameworks that we're going to be using to avoid that problem. But, in the short term, I think that's probably the largest pitfall that we see in the technology itself.
Another technology that has been front and center throughout the last year is the metaverse. Looking to the year ahead, what do you foresee for the technology and what considerations should be made while it's still in the early stages of development and implementation?
It is definitely early stages, but the metaverse is here to stay, right? There are many use cases. The digital communication would benefit from the ability of actually extended to vision and only audio. And so I think that, the opportunities are there. There are probably some of the limitations that we still have in terms of broad adoption. One definitely is the definition of the experience, right, from a visual perspective. And then potentially in the future, is there an opportunity to extend the experience of the metaverse to other senses, right? So it's audio and video today, but can we be really transported in a different environment, a different world, right, using our body as well? So I think overall, lots of opportunities, I think, across industries and, of course, consumer technologies, but I think the technology has to mature a little bit more.
Let's talk about the tech talent landscape. We went in 2022 for a battle for tech talent, and we've experienced significant layoffs from major tech giants to start 2023. How are you thinking about the tech talent market, and what opportunity might these layoffs create for non-tech companies now that there's skilled tech talent available in the marketplace?
Absolutely. I think you're spot on. I think there are lots of opportunities for non-tech companies. There is a lot of great technology talent out there, and technology is here to stay, right? So there's not going to be a decrease in the amount of technology work that companies will need to do. So who is smart, who can move quickly, I think can hire, really important talent that will be able to take them to the next level from a digitalization perspective. And in general, I think, we tend to, the last few years, I don't know if it was an effect of COVID, but we tend to overreact, right? So there are major hires, major layoffs, and everything seems to be so quick, sometimes too quick.
Yeah, well, based on your experience as the Chief Technology Officer of EY, what are the tech skills that will be most in demand over the coming years?
Yeah, so definitely cloud resources, artificial intelligence, I think will explode at a level that we have never seen before. There are so many different AI techniques converging into a very interesting set of use cases for the enterprise. So definitely that, but also I think, people, we can be trained in it, right? So I think what we need in terms of technology, we're going back to a little bit the generalist in the technology landscape, right? So maybe less super deep skill sets and more general technology understanding, so there is a better interaction with the business community inside an enterprise.
Right. Well, as executives worry about a potential recession and look for ways to cut costs, are you expecting a slowdown in tech spending, or could investing in new technologies actually help leaders cut costs?
I hope that people understood the lesson of COVID, right? Where there were major cuts of technology, and then the company that cut too much, they ended up, on the wrong end of the stick in terms of the ability to compete in the digital economy. So I don't expect that will be like a massive contraction. What is going to happen, I think, is going to be the change in the quality of the technology investment, meaning I see many more smaller, shorter duration projects as opposed to long-term transformations. So I think that's what's going to happen in the recession. The next 2 years will be about 1 to 2 months, rapid implementation as opposed to, 1 to 2 years of major technology changes.
So, Nicola, what do you recommend to chief technology officers and chief information officers as they review their priorities for the year ahead?
So to me is, I know it's going to be difficult in a recession time, but I think the enterprise need to understand that technology is here to stay. So you cannot be successful in any industry without technology. There is a lot of new technology coming up that you don't want to be left behind. We just talked about ChatGPT, for example. And there is a lot of tech talent that is there at a price that is much more competitive than it was a year ago. So the companies that I think that are smart and can put together these 3 elements into a solid technology strategy, I think will win. And the CTOs and CIOs, they have the responsibility of driving that. So I think I see of course, there are some clouds at the horizon, but I think at the same time, I think if you can navigate it properly, you're going to end up with significant competitive advantage.
All right, Nicola, we appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you, Jill.